Well, here we are. It has been raining for 4 days straight, and there's another big storm coming in tonight. So naturally, Wayne and Ray and I have snuck out here in the calm between the storms, and we are down to what used to be our dry creek and now has some water running in it, right? As we can see on down the creek there, right? Wayne is already processing some material through his California sluice box 1/4 inch. Oh, look, a man without boots.
Forgot my boots.
He forgot his boots. Yes. All right. This is an ugly thing when you're down and there's actually water in the creek and you don't have boots to wear. We're so used to working dry creeks that having water is a real unusual thing now for us. In any case, we'll go up here. Here's a nice big pool running, and this will be my dig spot right here. I got some gold there before when I was sampling, and I'm going to go ahead and work that a little bit and see what I can get out of it. Looking up the creek, we sent Ray up creek, and he is going to do some sample pans up there, and we will all find out if we can get into the gold and find the pay streak. Well, we got chased off the previous creek by the rain. We were only there about half an hour and managed to dig one bucket of material, and then the rain started and we boogied on for home. Didn't get much gold, just a little fly poop, just to let us know that there is still gold there, but we didn't have a chance to sample out too much. So I'm back down at a different spot, and we had, let's see, well, between 7 and 8 inches of rain in the last 5 days here in Sonora. As a result, all the dry creeks are now flowing, and I decided to bring the Bazooka Gold Trap down here to put in some nice flowing water and just move a little material, kind of sample some different gravel bars and things, which is exactly what I'm doing. As you can see, here's the Bazooka, and we've got it running at a fairly good clip, right? You can run it at a higher angle and in higher water flows, and it just really works like a charm. But I'm going to grab a handful of gravel here and toss it in, just let you see how this stuff works. I'll just get a handful of this stuff, run it in there, down everything runs, hits the grizzly, and every once in a while you get a larger rock. I don't have the sufficient flow to move the bigger rocks, so then we just, normally these rocks would flow right over the grizzly. Today with the water flow I have to kind of help them across with my fingers. But I'm about to do a cleanup on this thing. I think I ran about 6 half buckets of material, and we will see what we find in the cleanup. So that's it for right now. Wayne is up the creek. I don't know if you can see him up there, and he's just doing a little cracking and crevicing. Ray came down earlier, and he's got some business to take care of. When you're a roofer and it's raining, you know, you want to make sure you get all your ducks in a row so you don't ruin somebody's house. In any case, we're back to it, down at the creek, going for gold on the 1 day between the storms. Alright, well, this is the material that came out of the Gold Trap sluice, and since it's a fairly large amount of material, rather than trying to just pan all this stuff out, I'm going to run it through my California Sluice Box Junior Stream Sluice. It's a little drop riffle sluice, and already I just saw a piece of gold. I don't know if you can see that. That's a little piece of gold right there. I'll try and get a little closer. That's out of the first spoonful. And we just run this stuff nice and gently through here. Any gold that is in there will sit down. A lot of the times it'll sit down on the slick plate, which lets me know that I am getting gold. Everything I've seen thus far has been very small gold, just a shade above fly poop. So I'm hoping we see some better flakes here. This is not as fun as I thought it would be. I'll take you over and show you where I'm digging. And most of this material is overburden off a gravel bar. And as a result, I'm not expecting to see a whole lot of gold, but gold is where you find it, and that's what I'm doing today, is just sampling sections with that bazooka gold trap, because you can shovel right into it or just shovel a bucket and dump the bucket in, and it makes things a little faster. Oops, got a little excessive on that. And I'm going to go ahead and finish this bucket up. No sense in having you watch the material run through a sluice. That's a little boring. So we'll get back to the video as soon as I do the cleanup on this little drop riffle sluice. Alright, well, I'm about to do the reveal on my my cleanup from the drop riffle sluice. Alright, when I tap I can see some gold starting to show up, but it's all small stuff. Exactly what I figured we would find in that overburden on the gravel bar. I'm going to try and get fairly close here, and hopefully you can see this. Alright, yeah, lots of small gold, but nothing of any size. Now, Wayne just did a pan and ended up with a couple of better sized flakes out of a very, very tiny crack that he was working. However, this is all the gold that I'm getting here. I'm tapping this stuff out so I can walk it right out of the heavier black sands here. And then just let the water drop back in the pan. Gold stays in the pan while I clean out all the black sand and stuff, and then we can take a quick look at the gold. Alright, so I'm hoping you can see this. I'm wearing the door cap today, so I have absolutely no idea exactly where this camera is pointing, but I'm trying to get it close. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to take the camera off. I'm going to take the hard hat off and hold the camera down there. Hopefully you're able to see the gold here. There we go. Well, that's as close as we can get. There's the gold from my first sample with that. And I'm going to change positions and see what else I can find in this gravel bar. Right over here where I was working, you can see we're all gravel bar right down here. This is bedrock, right? And that's bedrock over there. There's a little channel that runs right down here, and I'm trying to clean that channel out. And I went ahead and there was all this overburden material right from here, right on back. And that's the material that I processed through the bazooka gold trap. So right now, way down at the bottom of this, I don't know if you can see it, I did discover that you can, here I got bedrock right down there, but suddenly I dropped into a hole. There's a hole right here, and I'm going to take my super sucker and I'm going to suck that hole out and just pan the material, because I got a feeling that some better flakes of gold might have been trapped there as the water ran across this bedrock face. So that's the next thing coming up, and meantime I will be back shortly. Okay, well, I ran another half bucket through the drop riffle sluice just to check a different spot. Wayne was down at the bottom of cut, and I took some of the material from a little higher in different layers there, and this is what I got. I don't know, let's see, let's get the old camera as close as we can and hope that if I shift it around a little bit you will be able to see what I am seeing. Alright, there's the gold, and it's small gold, a little disappointing for this area, but that's why we sample, that's why we come out and check out what's going on. That's going to do it for us today. The sun is over the yard arm. Wayne has already had his first beer. Life is good as far as Wayne's concerned. Alright? Oh, I still have plus 20s to do, but with gold this small, the the chance of having a plus 20 decreases excessively here. Alright, let's snuffer this stuff up, and I'll run my plus 20s, and I'll get back to the video here if there's anything that shows up by some incredible circumstance. And that's going to do it. Well, just to prove me wrong, nature strikes back, and I was doing my plus 20s here, and let's drop a few things back. Hopefully you can see this. And coming up real short, look, sitting up there at the top of the pan is indeed a plus 20. Now, if I hadn't said anything about the chances of finding a plus 20 today being very slim, why, I wouldn't have found this. Alright, but that's the vagaries of gold prospecting. Let me take off the door hat and take a picture of that close up if I can. And I hope you can see that. There's today's plus 20. And it's a chunky little puppy, but that's going to do it for us today. Live long and prospect.